To all the sexy, to all the lovely, to all the joy and the love we have in this world, we introduce you to the Sibling Ting podcast, where we talk sports, we drink beers, and overall we just have a great time. The dog, I currently have got a dog attacking me while attempting to film this intro. I have not done an intro for a while.
I reckon you can hear him.
I have not done an intro for a while. This is strange. I'm Jesse. I am fairly stupid. I really like football and I really like darts. And I'm growing to F1.
Oh, really?
Really?
No, that's a lie. You're just saying that for Hinge.
You've watched like 2 races, but you know, you're watching races at least. I mean, it's better than...
he's lying. He's saying this for
Well, a lot of
Hinge.
the time he could just walk away.
Because he's matching with girls who like Ferrari. That's the only reason he's saying this.
So single women listening, by the way, our
Jesse is single. Well, we all are.
So this is the part of the intro where normally you have to introduce yourselves, but please carry on.
I'm Charlie. I'm the oldest sister, and I talk about motorsports, which mostly involves F1.
I am Carter. I'm a middle child, and I will do boxing and UFC.
So, without further ado, we're going to get into this is going to be a ride. This is going to be a journey for everyone watching. You're going to come out of this experience not only a better man, a better woman, a better person, but overall, you're going to be enlightened to what it truly is to be a Sibling Ting member. So, we do have a phrase here. We just have to say it. Because this will go on a t-shirt and it will earn us millions in the future. It's the only reason we're keeping this up. So, ready, boys? And women and gentlemen and dog? All right, 3, 2, 1. Lights out and podcast on. So,
yes,
we have to pass it to...
Whoa, that was so quick. My God, I'm not even sure if I... Jesus.
So, we pass it on to probably the one I like the least out of both of you.
Well, lovely,
I pass it to Carter.
Hello, guys. So, I have not got a whole bunch to talk about. Quite literally, there's no really matches on for this week or next. However... There's a couple bouts on, no title fights. So I'll get on May 17th, which I believe would be Friday.
Yeah.
We've got Jack Taylor versus Ika Usman for welterweight. It's a bout, not a title fight, but should be decent. I believe I'm not sure if that's the undercard or the main card for another heavyweight with Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. It's a second fight, British. Let's go.
Hey.
They are, and I know Johnny Fisher is one of them guys that, you know, Eddie Hearn bigs up.
I like Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn's quite funny, but when it comes to boxing, like Johnny Fisher, he's not that good. But because he likes him, Eddie Hearn will try and push him to the top, but he's just not there. He's not that person.
For my next Sibling Ting TikTok, I'm going to do an Eddie Hearn voice thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so out of context.
He's just amazing.
What's that clip of Eddie Hearn when he goes, I'm going straight up, rocket, shoot.
There's so many.
I would like to say the June 27th, which is a while away. It's not a month away. However, it's non-confirmed. But he might make... Maybe it's not a comeback. It kind of is a comeback, but it might be his last fight.
Don't call it a comeback.
What a throw, Charles. Wow.
Thank you.
It will be Deontay Wilder.
Wow.
This is Tyrell Herndon, which I don't know. It's not confirmed.
I know one of those names.
Yeah, but you know that's all you need.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed, but it's there. And seeing Deontay Wilder fight again, whether it's the last time or it's come back and he tries again, who knows? Either way, it'll be very nice to watch and see what happens. As Deontay Wilder did a particularly good job in heavyweight boxing. His career is amazing. Unfortunately, he did lose 4 times now, but he had an amazing. Everybody he's beat, he's knocked out, which is a 100% record for who he's beat. It's very impressive. We've got Jake Paul versus Julio Chavez Jr. which is again not confirmed, but probably most likely definitely happening because
I'm almost certain he did a press conference the other day.
Yeah, but that's never like no boxing you can never. I say this is Tyson Fury said this as well, and I believe it, and I say it all the time because me and Dad make bets on boxes, right? And my bet with Dad will always be.
Say the issue here, and massively. You guys talk about betting so much. It is an issue at this point. It is an issue.
It's fine. Don't spend too much on it. It's all good. It's not an addiction. I have every time I bet with Dad about boxing and saying, "Oh, they're going to fight," and you go, "No, they're not." Bro, I will always say I will say, we're not taking no money until we see them in the ring and they punch each other, because up until that point you never know. I don't care what contract you think signed, what press conference you see, what you see, until they're in the ring you cannot say anything. But like I said, most likely will happen. I gotta say it's annoying because Jake Paul, he picks his opponent, so maybe he's picked him for a reason that he knows he probably can beat him. It's just he's a decent boxer. He's nowhere like his dad, which had an 85 run, which I said last time.
I was going to say you've spoken about this.
First 87 fights, unbeaten. Yeah, unbeaten, no draws, no losses, and then he lost once and then won another streak. It's crazy what he did. He's not his father.
Not his
But he should still be able to beat Jake Paul. Hope. We'll hope.
I am your father.
I am your
Say what?
I was not expecting that, Charlie.
Sorry.
I was like, no, that's okay. It's all right. I wasn't expecting it, but it's all right. We have on July 11th, again, I think we mentioned, we've got Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, which are incredible fights. These girls go at it. They give everything in the ring. And the third fight, it's going to be impressive. Again, that's undisputed. So that'll be very for welterweight women's champion. Sure. And then obviously July 19th, Usyk and Dubois. But we will talk about that a lot when it comes by, because that's probably the biggest of this year.
And you are
for now.
Obsessed with Usyk.
I love Usyk. He's amazing.
I think that's a fair word. Obsessed.
Yeah, well, it's like
He is feel.
He is feel. He is very feel.
I don't know what that means.
He when he started learning English, Usyk, when people said, "How do you feel?" He didn't. It didn't translate well. So he said, "I am feel," thinking maybe it's saying "I am good."
Yeah.
So he said, "I am feel," and then he didn't pick up for a while, and then he'd always say "I am feel," and then he realised, and then now he says it's feel because it's like a catchphrase.
I am feel.
It's not as funny when you explain it, but yeah,
I am feel. I'm very
feel. But that's pretty much all I've got on. Nothing on UFC except we should probably mention every time we talk about Tom Aspinall, John Jones, as it will be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history, I believe. So we should always mention that. And as a Brit, I will back Tom Aspinall. Not just as a Brit, as a
I like Tom Aspinall. Yeah, he just is a nice. Seems like a nice man.
John Jones hasn't. I know people glaze John Jones like he's the greatest of all time. He's not. He's very good and he is a phenomenal fighter. Saying he's not would be stupid. But when he fought Daniel Cormier, which is one of the best ever, yeah? Daniel Cormier was like 40 and he was on steroids. He's used steroids a lot. You can't fight and call yourself a greatest if you're on steroids. You just can't. It's not fair. So it's a bit, it's a bit dodgy. He never fought Fedor. I think Fedor probably beats him. Tom Aspinall probably beats him because he hasn't fought anyone like... John Jones hasn't fought anyone younger in their prime that's bigger than him, and also the power and the speed like Tom Aspinall. He's not faced it, so I just think he's going to win. But that's pretty much all I've got to say. It's a very short one for me, as not much has gone on this week. So if Charlie, I believe you're taking it over.
Sure, I'll take it over.
Is this wrong? I don't know.
You are very incorrect, but you know what, John, go for it. I'll wrap it up.
So, I mean, we've really got nothing to talk about with F1 this week on terms of the fact that we've obviously got a break. So this week we're going into Italy, which is famously always good for Ferrari. Just pay attention because, you'll probably need to talk to someone on Hinge about this. So
I need to make this clear before you carry on.
Don't lie and pretend you're into F1 in any capacity.
Listen, I'm not going to say that. What I am going to say, though, is a lot of women on these dating sites, they do like F1.
Yeah, because it's a great sport.
I play to the fact that I know F1 slightly because I hear you lot talk about it a lot more? Yeah. Do I lie at all?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I lie. I'd say I...
Yeah.
Exaggerate.
What's that thing that PK says? I only tell a joke, I don't tell a lie.
Right, sure. Anyway, so we're going into Italy this week. It is looking strong for McLaren. However, this is the first European circuit we've gone to, I believe, since we've started. As always, it does change how the tyres work. It does change how the engines work. We are going into cooler temperatures. So every car, in a sense, has the opportunity to really show off, which is really exciting. Now, a big one to talk about in terms of F1 this week, though, is the sad, but I would say inevitable truth of what was always going to happen. Jack Doohan has officially been replaced by Colapinto. We all knew that was coming, though. Is it sad? Yes. Do I feel like it was probably definitely supposed to happen? Yes. I think the issue with Doohan was he was given so many chances. He was given more races than Lawson was. And reasonably, he's not performed well enough at all, I think, in terms of what the expectation was. And I think Pierre's also shown that the car is worth a midfield car and it is doing really well, but unfortunately Doohan was crashing out. He just wasn't doing nearly as well as he should have been, whereas Colapinto is going to come into this fresh, and realistically we know what Colapinto's good at and he is a phenomenal driver. So with that being said, that's it.
You can definitely hear the dog.
I know, yeah.
I could hear the dog walking in.
He's in agreement. He's in agreement. So yeah, so this is going to be the exciting news this week. I mean, other than that, there is so little for me to talk about.
Could I just
I mean,
nip in real quick?
go on, yeah, sure.
I just want to nip in to give a realistic point of what you just said. With McLaren looking strong, but
Oh, right, okay.
the tyres are changing because it's cooler. Obviously, it's the first Europe and stuff. So you said anything could happen, any car could win. So I'll just be realistic because Charlie's obviously hoping for a Ferrari. McLaren are going to win again, but Ferrari might do well and get a podium.
To be fair, I'd be more worried about Mercedes and Red Bull than I would be McLaren at this stage, just because...
Not Red Bull. Max Verstappen. I'm scared of Max Verstappen.
Everyone's scared of Max
Yeah.
Verstappen. But yeah, no, it's very exciting this week. I mean, we've not really got a lot... I mean, I can talk about the books that I've read. I've read 5 books this week. Like, there's nothing F1 related. I don't really watch any of the motorsports. I should, but...
It's 75 years of British
British motorsport.
of F1.
F1?
Yeah, something like
British
that.
F1.
No, I read something.
I mean, it is F1 75 this year because it's 75 years of F1. If
That
that's
might
what
be
you
it.
mean. Yeah. It is 75 years of F1. But yeah, no, there's not really a lot to talk about in terms of motorsport. Obviously, in terms of F1 at the very least. As everyone knows, I am trying to get into MotoGP, and I do find it difficult because I just don't always have the calendar and I don't always end up watching it. But I am trying to get into it. There is also the BTCC, which, you know, realistically, hopefully this year we might be going to car. Hopefully, if the stars align. But yeah, there's not a lot in terms. I mean, I'll talk about books. Oh, I'm happy to talk about the books I've read. If the listeners want to hear that.
I
You really want to
Crossover
go.
between sports and books. Like, I'm happy to do that.
If
but
you want, go.
my
Kinda
section will
scared
only
that
be 3
whoever's-
minutes.
I'm scared if someone's driving and listening to this, they might fall asleep at the wheel
What, by
So-
books?
Yeah.
Why?
because of books.
What, because you can't read.
Yeah.
What's wrong about that? You know, some people can't read nowadays.
Right, there's no need to be facetious.
I know, I can spell certain words. I know a word that begins with F and U. I'm not going to carry on anyway. I'm not.
You know, it's funny. U doesn't actually start with a U. It starts with a Y.
The word.
Oh, we start to spell
My
the word.
God.
Okay, yeah. You see, I
Okay.
didn't clock on to what he was saying then.
That was awful. That was embarrassing.
That was
embarrassing.
terrible.
That was
from
embarrassing.
Us,
I feel like, though, before we go on to Jesse, just because we've had such a short start, should we go into one of your little, you know, media mogul moments? Do you have a question to throw out there to have a bit of debate?
to get a debate on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hot takes.
Hot take. No, I will say. Okay, I'm going to give you a sport. You just have to
Okay.
give me your biggest hot take from that sport.
Okay.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to start with boxing. Car sport. What's your biggest hot take in boxing?
Ooh. Okay. I'm thinking.
You know what? We should
I have one.
What's
Go
your
on then,
What's your
go on
big
then.
hot take?
Mike Tyson has one of the weakest chins in heavyweight history. He does.
And to the listener
take a punch.
who I know is going to be extremely upset with that,
Yeah, but I mean,
you can say it to
our
his face.
father grew up watching Mike Tyson. He was a few years younger, so I mean, when he won the championship, I think there's like 5 years, 5-6 years difference. So when Dad was like 14, he watched him win at the youngest ever heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson. He was 20. So he watched that and he's a massive fan. He's grown up with Mike Tyson, which is understandable why he loves him so much. But if you're coming from my era, which I'm happily to say none of the eras now, any boxer from now could take anyone from Mike Tyson's era back. It just couldn't happen. But I also have more knowledge, and you can watch back videos of Muhammad Ali's era. Before that, Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, got dead hard people, and you got Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, and I can happily say Mike Tyson gets a lot more credit than he probably deserves. His chin is one of the most debatable things. He cannot take a punch.
I woke up the other day to just hear him and Dad.
I've heard about this, yeah.
They were literally going at each other, and I could actually hear Dad getting angry, where he was like, I can't speak to you anymore, I can't talk about this.
We argue. We argue. We always argue because my favourite, and everybody's favourite, most people's favourite in boxing, and most people say the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. The question always is Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. It's the biggest question because they were the biggest of each era. Mike Tyson was the best of his era. Muhammad Ali was the best of his era. So you say, oh, who's the best? Who would win? In 20 years, you'll probably hear the question, who would have won, Mike Tyson or Alexander Usyk? Stupid question, but that's probably what you'll hear because he's the best of this era. And that's just how it is. So, but we will argue forever because he will never back down from the fact he thinks Mike Tyson would win and I think Muhammad Ali would win. And it'll be and we'll
I have
never
my
agree.
hot take.
Go on, what's your hot take?
Boxing is no different from the Roman Colosseum. I said it.
I don't even know what that means.
Basically, they're just gladiators.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the
That's what it
purpose.
is.
Isn't that just the purpose?
So,
Yeah, but I just think at the end of the day,
I don't think that's a
it's
hot
not,
take.
Yeah, but it's not
It is.
okay.
Driscus Duplessis. I'm pretty sure I'm saying this right name right. He's a UFC fighter. He's currently like number 5 in the world or something like that. I'm correct. He's I think he's champion as well. Current. He's insanely good. He's very good. Beat Adesanya. You'll know him from that. He's insanely good, right? He said that exact thing. He said in an interview, he said he's ready to kill because in his head, he's still in the old mentality of he's in a coliseum.
Yeah, that's
he's
what it
earning
is.
this money and he's getting entertainment and stuff from violence and hurting because that's how it is. But it's modern day. It's safer. People don't die nowadays from boxing because of the rounds getting shorter and how many.
It's not okay.
Well, it's fine. It's all safe.
Not okay.
It's
Next
human
sport.
nature to enjoy it.
Next sport, because Carter's going to get angry.
Yeah. No, I like violence.
Let's go football.
I mean,
Any
ridiculous zero
footballer,
Mine's not a hot take.
any footballer could
commentators.
do what Ronaldo could do, just not as good.
That is hot take. That is ridiculous take.
Lionel Messi did stuff that no one
I
else
was just
can do.
quoting a Jamie Carragher. Just
Oh, to
quoting
be fair, yeah.
Joe
No,
Carragher
actually,
quote.
you know what? I've said this so many times, quoting Jamie Carragher, that I do forget sometimes I'm quoting him. It is Jamie Carragher, you're right.
Yeah.
But it is correct, though. Ronaldo does stuff that other people do. Anything you see Ronaldo do, you've seen other players do because it's Ronaldo. We just don't do it as good because it's Ronaldo.
I don't know. He's arguably the best of all time. Some would say he is. I would go Messi, but I wouldn't even argue if people did say Ronaldo. He's that good.
A lot of people, if you're asking, a lot of websites, when you go top 10 of all time, Messi's always number 1. But normally people put Pele and Maradona above Ronaldo.
I don't. It's
A lot of people will always say 1 and 2,
man.
Messi and Ronaldo, but it will always be Messi. He can't be number 1.
My football hot take is that Mo Salah is the best Premier League right winger of all time. And
I severely disagree, but I think that's not a hot take because I think most people.
I was going to say, Carter believes David Beckham's better than Mo Salah, and I would say Mo Salah's far better than David Beckham.
I have two.
Go on.
I have a serious one and a non-serious one. Which one do you want first?
I'll go for this unserious one first.
Edison is the hottest football player there is right now.
That is actually an extremely hot take.
I don't care what anyone says.
That is an extremely hot take.
Hot.
I don't get it.
Hot.
It's not a bad looking guy. It's just
any of my gals that are watching. Every time I look at that man, I see Azriel.
I don't even know.
The girls who know. Akatar.
What's your serious one then?
My serious one.
Yes.
Which I've forgotten now.
Oh, okay. So she's.
No, I had a serious one. Oh no.
A football hot take wasn't even to do with football. It was to do with a footballer.
It is. Oh my god, my serious one's gone out of my head. Why is it?
I have a feeling it's going to be either Wayne Rooney or Keane.
No, it wasn't either of them.
Was it England related?
No. Oh my god, why have you gone completely out of my head?
Bale.
Oh, they don't need to fall over like that.
Oh,
that's not a hot take.
That's not a hot take.
That's not a hot
just
take.
in the men's football, men fall like the big shot.
No, both women and female, yeah.
Yeah, but women get back up. Men just fall like the big shot.
You've never seen Lionel Messi.
We'll go to darts.
Luke Littler won't be good in another 4 years.
That is a hot take.
That is a hot take.
I think he's shining right now. Another 4 years, he'll kind of just he'll be the Rob Cross.
I'm going to say darts is only popular right now because it's a hot sport and it will probably fade away in a couple of years.
Oh,
that is a hot take.
It's a hot take, but you know what?
I don't think it will.
I don't disagree.
The reason I say I don't think it will is because UK alcohol culture and darts culture are very similar. You get to go out and have a night out.
But that's been there for years and years and years, and
football.
It died.
I disagree. I think darts will stay tall. I think darts will stand.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's. I'll tell you this. I don't know if it's not a hot take, but it's not going to get any bigger than it is.
I think it will. I think it's not. Will.
I like darts. We play on a darts team, Jesse. I enjoy watching darts. I have fun. I don't understand why people like it, and I play it. I don't get it. It's like sometimes I'm playing and I'm like, why are people enjoying this? And I'm watching it going, why is this like a big sport? It just is. But I don't see it getting bigger than it is.
Don't get offended on behalf of your sport. Jesus.
I didn't get offended.
When we get to F1, I'm sure someone's going to offend me.
I didn't get offended.
Your face is offended.
I didn't get offended. I don't even have a darts hot take, to be fair. I think my darts hot take would be... it sounds a weird one, but I'd say Michael Smith has the most entertaining throw in darts. I just really like the way he throws.
I mean, it's a hot take. It's not a very big hot take, but it's a hot take. You got the premise, right?
We'll now do F1.
I knew you were going to come to this, and I'm thinking in my head...
Because you just said it, so I thought I'll bring it up.
Because I've got so many, but I'm like, what is my hottest take?
Max Verstappen deserves number 4 of all time.
Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take. I was thinking of saying Max Verstappen will be considered one of the greatest of all time, but I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a fair statement.
No, that's a fair statement, and also it's hard to say where, because the top 3 I think are set, right? So that's why I'm saying number 4, because there are other people that probably deserve it more, but I think Max probably deserves 4. He's not better than Lewis. He's not better than Schumacher, and obviously Salah.
I mean, is it a hot take to say that Lance Stroll shouldn't be on the grid, or is that just a given at this point?
I don't think. Every time I see Stroll, right, I remember the other day, every time it's always a meme, right, of Stroll being there for Rich and all that stuff, right? And I saw it the other day, it was a picture of Stroll on the grid. And he was getting interviewed or something. It was a picture, and I thought it was serious because there was no joke on it. And I remember seeing it, thinking this is the first time I've ever seen it, and it's not. And then I swiped across, and it was a meme straight away. Yeah. And I thought, I'll never see a picture where it's not a meme. It's just so stupid. But
always is. Always is.
We've got his dad's got more money than us, so we can't say anything. We have no control on it. Neither do the FIA, apparently.
I'm going to say the drama around F1 has decreased in recent years. It isn't like, do you know when you used to see it and you used to see Schumacher storming over to garages? It's not there anymore. Like, the drama has massively decreased.
Yeah,
From
they all get
2PC.
fined.
and
We get
now,
fined and told
when
oh,
there
God,
is not just that, but when there is drama, it is over exaggerated. Like Lewis with his with speaking to the engineers, it's over exaggerated. Whereas back,
and especially
15 years
Netflix
ago,
as well. Netflix will literally get a clip from 2 different things, put it together. So you're like, oh wow, I can't believe it happened. And you're like, wait, they were different days, they were different countries, they were in different countries, different continents.
You know when they've got different Pirelli hats on.
Yeah,
that's when you know.
It's just like, Jesus.
But yeah, so that is my probably hot take, is that the drama.
It's hard to say a hot take on
exaggerate
F1,
it.
but I reckon I could pull one off.
Yeah. Jesse, have you got anything to do with F1?
I would say that my hot take is the car is more important than the driver.
That is a hot take.
That is a hot take.
That is a hot take. Because you're incredibly wrong.
No,
I would not say he is wrong. I would say arguably I'd say it's a 60-40, and I actually agree. I think it is 60 to the car, 40 to the driver.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. Red Bull this season are in a... Mercedes has a better car than Red Bull, right? Ferrari are on par with Red Bull. McLaren obviously have the best, but Max is currently 3rd, and he probably will stay 3rd, and he will be fighting.
You have exceptions to every rule.
Yeah, true.
But reasonably, the car will naturally put you... The only places where I think you can really see the difference is with Red Bull. Reasonably, every other car is where it should be on the grid, because the cars are... You get people...
Well, what about Lando and Piastri? Right now, it's arguable.
Incredible.
Yeah, the car's incredible, but it's arguable right now that Piastri might actually be a better driver than Lando, and that's why he's doing better.
But as I said, 60-40.
But I think it would be 60-40, 60 driver, 40 car.
Well, that's why it's a hot take.
Yeah, no, you're right, because we're arguing about it. So, yeah, well done, Jess. You pulled out a hot take there.
Do you know
that was
what?
pretty good.
Let's move on.
That was impressive.
Jesse,
well, I'm just going
about darts and football.
I'm onto it. Let's have it. So in football, I'm going to start with football just because I'm happy, I'm excited. It's been okay with football recently. With Liverpool winning the league and all teams from the Premier League being relegated, essentially just Champions League chasing now. Villa have qualified for Europe. I believe they're still... I don't know if they're fighting for Champions League spot at the moment, but by the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and possibly Chelsea. It looks like Forest aren't going to be in the Champions League this season.
Or not.
Are not going to be by the looks of it.
Yeah.
In regards, in just other footballing events, I think the big one, Sheffield United are going to Wembley.
Yeah.
They've made it to the playoff final. Now it's just between Coventry and Sunderland.
Frank Lampard.
Super Frankie Lampard. That's, again, going to be insane. That's going to be mental. It's going to go ham, go crazy. Leyton Orient and Wickham, I believe, are in the playoffs as well. I can't remember for life remembering the other 2 teams from League One. Just another little fun fact for you as well. Every El Clasico to happen this year. Do you know what the El Clasico is?
No.
Madrid versus Barcelona.
Okay.
Barcelona has prevailed on each occasion.
Well,
Real Madrid have yet to beat Barcelona with the El Clasico.
Should we also add another little fact about Leyton Orient?
Go on.
We've been to their stadium.
We have been to their stadium, yes.
That's a little fact for you.
What else have I got for you?
Just a little fact. I've been to the Coliseum.
So,
do you want
to start it, Jar? Would you like to start that?
I think I've got to bring it up. I've got to bring it up. The Europa League final has been set, and it's Man United versus Tottenham.
Little fact. We've been to a Tottenham Hotspur stadium.
It's a great stadium as well.
And little fact, birthday present, which Jesse has not received yet, is to take him to Old Trafford so he can stand on the pitch and have a tour of the stadium. So we will see that very soon.
I will say that Tottenham Man United final, on paper, sounds crazy.
Crazy.
They are finishing 16th and 17th in the Premier League table. that they are the 2 spots above the relegation zone.
Right.
The 2 spots above relegation zone is the Europa League final. And some would say that, that it's just been a bad season for them. It doesn't mean they're playing better. Well, it means playing awful, yeah. But then they have their performance last weekend. They have their games, yeah. Tottenham lose to Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
2-0. Man United lose to Bournemouth, I think it was. Was it Bournemouth? Or was it... I believe it was Bournemouth. I could be wrong about this. No, it was West Ham. It was West Ham. But they also, the following week, also did lose to Bournemouth away.
Okay.
They lost to West Ham at Old Trafford 2-0.
I actually have a big football thing to talk about.
Go on.
Do you want to celebrate or commiserate on the fact that we maintain, as Darbarians, our stronghold on the fact that
I don't want to talk about it. I don't... Because the thing is...
worst team in the Premier League.
So I've got to... well, we do have to talk about that. Again, I love my club. I was insanely drunk when we stayed up. Southampton drew against City. So I'm just saying that shows more on Manchester City than it does Southampton. No, they did. You can't.
I won't have any.
You draw. You're meant to be one of the top clubs, and you're drawing to Southampton.
Like how you say you're meant to be. Excuse me, not me. I only like City for one reason and one reason only. But let me be clear. I won't have anything said against that man.
I was just saying it against City. However, how you can celebrate being on 12 points.
How you can celebrate it back just being staying up and not being relegated is embarrassing.
I wouldn't say it's as embarrassing at all.
I'd say it is as embarrassing.
Relegation battles are far more tense and actually have a purpose. Southampton are relegated. They have had a terrible season. And you know what? I was fine with it.
But fact is
they're not the worst of all time, yeah? Which is fine by me, yeah?
That.
What I'm not fine with is going on TikTok and seeing what they've posted about us.
I've not seen it.
It's the SpongeBob movie clip where Squidward gets announced. Squidward is announced. He is the was it employee of the month or something? I've not seen that in so long. And SpongeBob gets a bit ahead of himself and just starts dying and celebrating. They are SpongeBob and we are Squidward. Carter's just got it up. So Carter has also currently got his Bluetooth on, and that did connect to some random thing in the house, and we.
Better luck next time, buddy.
It's just. It was just, you know what?
Just disrespectful.
No. Do you know what?
Hilarious.
I'm happy. We're meeting.
Even Southampton.
You know what's funny?
What banter.
We're meeting them next season.
What banter.
We get to play them next season. So you know what?
And then we can post that meme back to them.
And then we will post it back to them.
Oh my god! I so hope that happens.
Now, when we beat them, that will happen. To be honest, there's not a lot of news.
I don't know if Derby has a good enough media.
We have a great.
That.
Do you not see what they posted afterwards?
No.
They posted a really professional post afterwards. Yeah, saying, isn't this lovely? Playoff 2007 to actually the season before we had the worst season of all time, beating Southampton in the playoff final to reach it to the Premier League or something like that, and it showed the goals we beat them with. So do you know what?
But imagine even if Derby didn't do that right back here, every Derby County fan there is, however many thousands there are, every single one of them will text Southampton or put up that and post it.
Once we will. I think with Southampton, I think we'll win at Pride Park. St Mary's, that's going to be a tricky one next season. However, I actually, like I've been saying, I reckon Derby County, if Eustace gets a good transfer window, are going to be crazy next season.
Do you reckon we could see a return of the cash?
No, he's Premier League standard, and obviously 12.
I asked the question.
Yeah, we won't be getting Cashin back. And do you know what? He did us a service.
He did.
I'm very happy
the
for
thing
him.
is about Cashin.
Yeah, he did a service. Just be clear to Liverpool fans. This is how you treat your players who've done a service and then.
You know what? Actually,
their
let's talk
clubs.
about that. Let's talk about that. Trent Alexander-Arnold. The other day we were watching.
I thought it was disgusting.
Liverpool Arsenal, was it?
Yeah.
And he was booed onto the pitch
There's
when
no
he was
need.
subbed on. And the truth be told, and by all means, I can get being upset. I was upset when Cashin left. However, it was a championship player who had done us an absolute service. He was brilliant for us. He was our best player for a long time. And when we sold him off, we got 12 mil, which bought in players, bought in John Eustace.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Cashin being sold, we would not have Eustace, and most likely we would not have stayed up because
Yeah.
Paul Warne was
The
not
thing
good
is
enough.
about Cashin is that it's sad. Like, this is like the first time we've probably seen it, right? Where and people who have watched it for a very long time have seen it many times, but this is probably the first time that we've seen it fully, where our best player and someone you love watching, and you have a chance to, and this guy, whenever you go watch, you go, this guy's going to save us, gets sold and goes to a different city.
But we knew it.
We
knew he was gone.
Like, out of the bottom of my heart, you're just so sad, but you know it has to, and he
Yeah.
deserves it.
Yeah.
He deserves that.
And
Pay
Trent
price, he deserves
Alexander-Arnold
it.
is unbelievably good.
He's so good.
He's the
And
best.
deserves it.
Alexander-Arnold is the best right back in the world.
Yeah.
He has got the most assists by Premier League defender ever.
Yeah.
Most assists by a defender in the Premier League. I believe I think in right back he's got most. He must do because obviously doing defender. I
is,
think
yeah,
I think he got the most assists in a Premier League season as well. I could be wrong
Yeah.
about. However, this is what bothers me about it. He's moved to Real Madrid, and I get Liverpool are one of the best clubs in the world, and you should treat. Oh, but he is the best player. So why didn't he? However, he's moving to Real Madrid. Real Madrid's not a competitor to Liverpool league-wise or cup-wise. It's only the Champions League. So they're not going to be playing each other week in, week out. He's going to, let's face it, probably the biggest club ever.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, I would say Real Madrid, Man United or Barcelona are probably the biggest clubs
Bayern Munich's
of all
always
time.
up there.
They're big.
No.
They're big.
Liverpool, Bayern Munich,
They're big. They're not Man United. They're not Real Madrid. They're not
them three are the
Barcelona.
biggest. Them
Yeah.
three, but I'd say like Bayern Munich, Liverpool, but they are still up there.
I just think he's gonna get loads as well.
Yeah.
He's gonna sell for loads by the looks of it. I think he's getting sold for quite a lot.
Yeah.
However, you boo him onto the pitch. Like, that's your
Yeah.
play. He's the guy
Yeah.
who's done a service to you.
You know, I don't
Absolute
get it right.
service.
It's like Trent Alexander-Arnold, and most football players that become professional, they watch and they must be watching like as a kid, right? You have your team. If he supported Liverpool growing up,
He was a
from
ball boy
Liverpool.
for him.
Yeah, exactly. So he was probably a Liverpool fan, yeah. So you grow up, you love that team because that's your team. You support your family, you support Liverpool. You get to play for him, whatever. But as a kid, even though you're a fan of Liverpool, whether it's Man United, Newcastle, Derby, Forest, whatever, at the back of your head, because you're a football fan, you'll still be thinking, I want to play for these teams when I get older. It's the ultimate dream. But you've still got Real Madrid and Barcelona, which are the two biggest teams of all time, and that will still be in your head because they're so big. And you will still, as a kid, think, what if I get to play and score a goal at playing for Real Madrid and stuff? And it must be amazing to think that, and then you grow up and you get a chance. You're not going to say no.
I just think it's
so
not. It's
disrespectful.
When Real Madrid come calling, you say yes.
So
Yeah.
That's how it
disrespectful.
works.
Unless you're from Barcelona, that's crazy. But I think that's
Yeah, but that's the thing.
A handful of times.
But that's the thing. If Barcelona came calling,
Exactly,
you still
yeah.
say yes. It's
No, as
Barcelona.
in like
Madrid.
if Barcelona, you were playing for Barcelona and then...
I get the right. If you're Spanish, if you're
It's
Spanish,
happened, but it's very rare. It's
Yeah.
like a handful of times. So.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just
Anyway.
like it's so.
You can't say
disrespectful.
if them two teams come calling, you don't say
No.
They are as good.
Bloody,
as teams
who was
do.
it in Man U? I can't remember. I think it was Real Madrid. Face it, it might be Ronaldo. It was someone, and we and Man United faced them, and the Man United fans got up and clapped the person coming off who was beating them, right, because of the performance. And it's happened before. Well, the other team will clap the opposing team because they're like substituting, and they clap because of the performance they put in. That's respect in football.
Yeah.
That is respect where you go, that's the sport I love, yeah, because it's respect at the end of the day. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, massively.
It's incredibly disrespectful. There's no point to it, and it's like he probably supports his team, but had this chance probably get more money, go to the biggest team ever, could be the best right back in the world screaming your name, and he gets disrespected. It must be horrible for him.
Derby played Plymouth last season at home, 2-2 draw, and we cheered Wayne Rooney, who got us relegated. So, to me, I just think. By the way, Trent is one of the best right.
Yeah.
I get you're losing the best right back in the world. Yeah, as a club, you're gonna annoyed.
You get that you're annoyed, but
we lost the best our best defender. It happened, and I understand that. However, you still got Salah, you still got Van Dijk. You still got a great squad on you. You lose a great player. I get that. I get the frustration. However, to boo him off after everything he's done, it's horrible. I do think it's just stupid. And with most Liverpool fans as well, they're the people that, when they get somebody coming in from another club, they're well happy about that if you get a big player coming in from you, but you're not happy when you lose one. So it's ridiculous after the service he's done as well. But speaking of moving clubs, two new managers have been announced. Ancelotti, who was Real Madrid's former manager, who, my God, was he good.
Right.
One of the best managers in the world. One of the best managers of all time. I believe he could be in top 20. Probably top 10, I'd say, yeah. He's quality, absolutely as good as it gets. Yeah, he's now Brazil's new manager. So, yeah.
Yeah.
He's Brazil's manager.
Okay.
Do you not know what that means?
Not in the slightest.
One of the best managers in the world is managing Brazil's national team.
Okay.
Do you not see where this could be an issue for us?
Not really. No.
Being English fans, you know what I mean?
Well, are you under the impression that we're going to beat all these countries anyway?
Yes.
Okay.
We are one of the best national teams in the world.
On paper.
We are the best.
You know what? I would say Spain is better.
Yeah.
But.
Not very patriotic, are you?
I would think we'll beat them. I think we can beat them. We didn't in the Euros final, but we can beat them.
Being realistically, that's not English. If you're being realistic, yeah, Spain's probably the best. Argentina are particularly good.
We're
Will forever be amazing.
We're better.
Brazil always has on and off. Germany always has on and off. Italy can be on and off.
We're better.
I think we are better. I think we are. I think we're doing.
But it will be an issue. Brazil being led by the phenomenal manager.
Who is it, sorry?
Ancelotti.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I probably caught it. His second manager, so Ancelotti's gone. Who is now leading Real Madrid? None other than Bayern Leverkusen's Xabi Alonso, which I just think is going to be beautiful. I love that man. He's just a very nice dude, it looks like, and he nearly completed the treble with Leverkusen. So I'm very happy for him, and I hope he does bits there because he's a geezer. He's a sound man. Champions League final has also been announced. Not been announced, but is all set. PSG versus Inter Milan. I'm going to be an Inter fan for the day, I reckon.
The complete opposite of what we thought was going to happen.
A complete opposite, yeah. Complete opposite. But you know what? It's good football. Great game between Barcelona and Inter as well. Phenomenal game. But yeah, now back onto darts. You know what? Last week Humphries won. I think Carter's the only one that got it right.
Thanks, Josh. You've literally taken away my winning streak. I'm
just going to jump on straight into predictions for next week.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot going on in darts. I'm just going to jump into the predictions.
Go on.
Michael Van Gerwen versus Nathan Aspinall.
Aspinall.
Oh,
I don't know why I said it that way.
Just to give a little context here. These two, 3 people have qualified for the Premier League finals.
Oh, who?
Luke Littler,
Yeah, I knew that.
Luke Humphries,
Okay.
and Gerwyn Price.
Yes! I could see going Price.
So
Yeah, but-
they are all in the
Yeah.
Premier League final.
I'm glad for them
I
three.
just
want
want
to watch them three.
Aspinall and I will be happy.
You know,
The
I'm not
only-
finished my context.
Oh, right, sorry. Okay.
Charlie, why are you cutting in front of me like that?
Wow,
Oh, God.
okay.
Oh my god. Wow.
But there are 2 people who could potentially reach the final spot this week.
Okay.
That is Aspinall and Van Gerwen. They are both 4th and 5th. Whoever wins their game
Wins and goes.
will
yeah.
be playing qualified for...
Okay, in which
the
case
Premier League.
I definitely want it to be Aspinall.
I would love it to be
Yeah.
Aspinall.
Thing is, I want it
Don't
to be
you
Aspinall.
dare!
No, but I'm not finished. I've not finished.
No.
I think
I-
Van Gerwen will win.
I think Van Gerwen's going to win.
I think Van Gerwen's going to
I
win.
want Aspinall to win,
I
but
think
I
Aspinall.
think Van Gerwen.
I think we're all going to be rooting for. I will literally be rooting for him the second they
Don't
throw
you
darts.
dare
yeah.
root for him.
No,
Yeah.
but I do.
Me.
I do think Van Gerwen will win. He is due a night. He is
Aspinall.
due. Yeah.
That's what I'm
I say
thinking. I think
Aspinall.
he's going to get
No.
one. This.
I
yeah.
think Van
Okay.
Gerwen is on. I think Van Gerwen could win the night.
In fact, I'm actually going to say it. I think Aspinall's going to win.
The night.
Yeah.
Okay. So well,
That's not going to happen.
I genuinely
we'll go,
think it.
We'll go through the rest then,
Go
but
on.
we know you're one
Yeah.
side of the bracket for you.
Yeah.
Well, Van Gerwen, Aspinall. Gerwen Price versus Stephen Bunting.
Price.
Yeah.
I don't think Price he's qualified. So I think Bunting will.
It's not going to make you stop
Yeah.
trying. It's competitive sport.
True.
You think he's not going to hit a booyah? So it's
No,
like-
he will definitely have a booyah.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I'll go Price. No, actually, no, I'm going to go Bunting.
Price.
Dobie or Cross?
I don't care.
Dobie.
I don't care.
Dobie.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dobie, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Littler Humphries.
Humphries, I think, is on the
Littler.
streak.
I always
I,
think Littler.
I think Littler.
Humphries.
I think Littler wants to win another night.
And I
think Littler will win
Yeah, Humphries.
potentially. So Charlie's already done her bracket, so she reckons Aspinall's going to beat Price.
Yeah.
I think Van Gerwen will beat Bunting. I also think Littler will beat Dobie. So I reckon it will be a Van Gerwen Littler final.
Aspinall final. Aspinall wins.
Aspinall. Littler Aspinall final.
Yeah.
Aspinall wins.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Littler Van Gerwen final. I think Van Gerwen's going to win.
So, what?
What's your final?
My final?
Yep.
My final is Van Gerwen, Humphries.
And who wins?
I think Van Gerwen's got to win one. It means me going against Luke Humphries, but he has to get one. So I'm going to say
He's due a
Van
night.
Gerwen, yeah. And he's
Well,
only got what?
see,
3
boys?
matches? No, not even that. He's got 2 matches. He's got 2 matches to win.
And I think, okay, now that we're here, we're drawing close. Who do you reckon's going to win the Premier League playoff when we're there? Who do you reckon we're going to watch live
Littler.
win the Premier? Yeah,
Littler.
no, it will be Littler.
Humphries.
Littler.
Humphries.
You know what I don't want?
Littler.
You know what I'd be happiest with?
I'm like, go on.
I would be the happiest. Bear in mind, I'm a massive
Price.
Humphries fan.
Yeah.
But if Price won, I'd be the happiest.
I'd
I'd
be
be
happy
happy
with
over.
Price.
If I see Littler win, I'd just be like, whatever. Yeah, big whoop. Like Humphries, I'd be like, oh yeah.
Do
I
they
want
sell like
Humphries.
shirts or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
of
Oh,
course,
that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Guys, it's going to be so fun.
Do you know
I've
what?
got no money. I've got a house to buy. But
I'll buy us a shirt.
woo!
I get a
Yeah.
shirt.
We'll share
I will
it.
say now that I'm 99% sure. Like if you were to literally say just bet everything you have on it, yeah, I'd probably go Littler Humphries in the final.
Yeah.
So basically, do you know how it works? It's
I
like-
don't want to know, Jess, because I'm going to find out on the night.
Essentially, there will be
You're
2
gonna tell me
finalists.
anyway,
No, I'm not going
okay.
to tell you. There's just going to be 2 finalists.
Yeah,
And I think them-
kind of assume that.
Them 2 finalists, I'm going to assume
There's
is.
2 finalists.
Yeah,
That's how
I just-
finals work.
That's how-
I'm just gonna. I'm like 90% sure it will be Littler Humphries again, same as last year. But I would like it. Imagine an Aspinall Littler or a Price Littler. I reckon it's gonna be Littler, but I could see a Price Littler final, and that I would be so happy with that. I would be incredibly happy with a Price Littler final. But I think Littler's gonna win the Premier League again, 2 years on the trot. But that is pretty much
Yeah.
me done. That's me suited and booted.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have spoken about upcoming boxing matches.
We have.
We have talked about the big news of Doohan being dropped.
What?
We have talked about our hot takes
What?
in sports. We have discussed football, Liverpool. We've discussed darts, predictions, as we always do every single week, because this is just who we are now. We hope you have had a wonderful time listening to the podcast with this week. If you don't mind dropping us a follow, dropping us a comment, dropping us a like. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Feel free to tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what your predictions are. Who do you think is going to win this week at darts? Who do you think is going to win in football? I don't even know. And who, most importantly, is going to win this weekend in Italy for Formula One?
This is really good outro job. I wish he could see what's going on with us fighting a dog.
I know, the dog's
It'd be
just
so
like,
much funny.
He's finally woken up.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you ever so much for listening, guys. As always, drop us a like, drop us a comment, drop us a prediction, and we will see you next week.
Drive home safe.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
Adios.